In the summer of 2016, religious of the Sacred Heart from around the world gathered to reflect on the cries and the hopes of our world in order to give fresh direction to the life and mission of the Society and the whole Sacred Heart family. The deliberations of those days were also influenced by the imminent celebration of Philippine Duchesne's mission to the New World. 4 calls were identified to guide us into the future: to create silence, to live more humanly, to reach new frontiers, to be and to act as one body. The reflection you are about to hear and view, Echoes from the Rebecca, explores how Philippine lived these calls, and, with her as our inspiration, how we might embody them in our own day. In the life of Saint Rose Philippine Duchesne, we find a remarkable journey and a timeless call to the whole Sacred Heart family. Philippine's story is rooted in God's love, in a tenacious faith that transcends time, and in the desire to embrace new frontiers. What does Philippine say to us about creating silence, living more humanly, crossing frontiers, becoming one body? Where does she call us today? How do we create silence? Our devices demand our attention. Our minds are inundated with constant, distracted activity. We need silence. Silence, as Philippine knew and practiced, allows us to tune out distractions. Silence allows us to recognize God's hidden presence within, to abandon our egos, our agendas, and life's demands, and to have an intimate relationship with ourselves and the divine. Just as with Philippine, silence invites us to abandon ourselves to God. Silence invites us to open ourselves to God's Spirit within. What does it mean to be fully human? To know in the depths of our being that we are made in the image of God, and to live our lives fully with that understanding. Jesus is the perfect embodiment of one who was fully human, fully alive. By accepting suffering as an invitation to growth, we become like Jesus. We expand our compassion to the world around us and grow in our shared humanity. To become more human is to put on the mind and heart of Christ, growing gentler toward human weakness, practicing forgiveness, embracing our vulnerabilities, delighting in friendship, and making choices from a place of personal integrity. All of these qualities Philippine learned before the cross. Like Philippine, let us ask Christ to transform us into His image for the life of the world He so loves. In the 200 years since Philippine arrived in North America, the world has undergone a startling transformation. Yet, the challenges Philippine faced are often echoed in the challenges we face today. Philippine was drawn to help the most marginalized in France and in the New World, crossing frontiers of geography, class, race, and culture. What is the echo of her life for us? Even as technology has eliminated historical barriers of time and distance to make the world smaller, we can be unaware of those suffering from poverty, racism, sexism, and oppression, whether half a world away or in our own communities. We are interdependent, yet not fully integrated with creation or one another. We are consuming the Earth's resources in a way that threatens our existence on this small planet. Philippine inspires us to cross frontiers, to grow in tolerance, love, and zeal, to embrace the other without fear, and to live our mission of making God's love known to the ends of the earth. Like Philippine, let us cross the frontiers of our time with faith, grace, and boundless generosity. One heart and one soul in the heart of Jesus. What does it mean to be as one with the heart of Christ and one another? What does it mean to be linked with others in the world and as church? Universally acceptable answers to these questions may not be attainable. Yet, like Philippine, we are called to live an incarnational faith. Righting wrong relationships is essential to becoming the face of Christ to the world. Living as one body demands going beyond ourselves and engaging with the other, while allowing that experience to change who we are and how we think and act. Being one body means breaking down barriers. It means reaching out and building community and relationships. Acting as one body, interconnected with one another. Let us go forward in hope, sowers of seeds of new life. To create silence, to live more humanly, to reach new frontiers, and to be and act as one body. These 4 calls challenge us to discern and respond at all stages and in all dimensions of our life and mission. Encouraged by the fidelity of God, inspired by Philippine, and supported by the love of our sisters and brothers, we commit ourselves anew to living these calls in the concrete reality of our lives. Spirit of the living God, you first breathed over the waters of creation, and one day you breathed a passion into the heart of Philippine Duchesne. You called her to cross the waters to a new world, to bring the message of your compassion and love to a land and peoples already dear to your heart. Not knowing the language of the land, she spoke the language of the heart, of love and prayer, of attention and openness, of steadfast purpose and living faith. As the Sacred Heart family around the world, we are the harvest of the seeds she sowed. Bless now our ever new world with Philippine's spirit of great-hearted courage. Fill us with her desire to cross frontiers, especially those furthest from the touch of hope. Renew the whole Church in its missionary spirit and give us Philippine zeal to spread your compassion and love to the ends of the earth. We ask all this in your name, Triune God, whose love knows no borders or boundaries, and who sends us to make known that love in the heart of the world, now and forever. Amen.